there, and welcome back to Weird Soda for Life. Picture it, Michigan, 2025. A beautiful young peasant girl walks into a Kalamazoo Rocket Fizz and spots a delicious soda. She knows she has to try for the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, that beautiful young peasant girl was me. And that soda was New York Deli style cheesecake soda. Eh? You get it anyway. Welcome back. um, I am not kidding about the cheesecake soda. I am intrigued by this. I love cheesecake. My mom and I both love. Well, she loved cheesecake. I still love cheesecake. And of course, our favorite foursome also love cheesecake. I had to throw on the Golden Girls to make this happen. But yes, today we are trying New York style, New York deli style cheesecake. Um, it doesn't have a brand associated with it. It is a Rocket Fizz original. Um, I have some concerns about that, but we'll see if they're well founded as we get into it. Um, but as I do, I have to do a little research. So I did some investigating on cheesecake. And I'm going to tell you, until they landed on the right formula, a lot of this stuff sounds not good. Um, so when we talk about cheesecake, we think about it now as the cream cheese, the graham cracker crust. But 2,000 years ago, they literally meant cheesecake. Athletes at the first Olympics in ancient Greece actually ate a cheesecake that was sheep's cheese, honey, and wheat. Uh, Essentially, it's the equivalent of a of a power bar if you're running, which seems a little odd to me. And then after that, we kind of pivot to the Romans, and the Romans going ahead and add eggs to it, and they called it, oh, what did they call it? Libum? And then they sacrificed it to the gods because, Jupiter needs a little snack after midnight. Om nom nom. And then after that, you kind of just see it mostly fall off the idea of a cheesecake um, until about, well, actually, before we even get to that, we got to figure out where the cream cheese comes from, right? Because it's not, we're not out here eating cheddar and honey, though Mr. Weird would probably find that very delicious because he likes both. But anywho, so like in 1872, a New York dairyman. I couldn't find a name, but admittedly, I did very light research on this because I'm really just here to drink the sodas. But a New York dairyman creates cream cheese while trying to create a French like a, oh my God, I'm gonna pronounce it, Neufchâtel. I don't know. I don't speak French, but he was trying to create one thing and ended up with cream cheese, which sounds like a lot of these origin stories for a lot of the foods that we try, a la the the bubblegum soda, right? And we remember our good friend there. Anyway, so cream cheese is there, and then by 1920, like delis decide, you know what we actually need? We need to add this to food in a way that we're already not doing. So they put it into cakes, and that kind of quintessential New York style cheesecake is created, right? And there are a lot of different cheesecakes. And I say that as somebody who's eaten quite a few of them. We have like that dense, that solid, right? That one that's delicious, but like really the word coming to mind is stodgy, and that's not quite the word I mean. But we've also had ones that are like light and whipped, right? And they're very fluffy. I mean, but for me, honestly, if you put cheesecake in front of me, I'll eat it. But with that, now, what, 1920, so 100 years later, they were like, you know what we need to do? Make this dessert fizzy. So, with that, let's take a look at this. I have to admit, when I purchased it, I wasn't paying a lot of close attention, but I'm a little concerned about the fact that there's a date on here from like 6 months ago. Um, yeah, I don't know if that's a born on date or if that's an expiration date, and I have feelings. But other than that, this is just like somebody went into clip art and was like, give me Brooklyn and give me a cheesecake and we'll slap that bad boy on here. This is not inspired at all. Uh, but I guess if you're Rocket Fizz and you're putting out a bunch of weird sodas, what do you care? But with that, let's see if I can get this top off. That's also what he said, not what she said. Or maybe it's what she said. I don't know. No, not again. Okay, hold on. Not be betrayed on my channel. Aha! I was at a mixer. Sidebar. I was at a mixer last night, and uh, I was at a bar and there was free drinks, and the bartender was trying to twist off a top and couldn't figure it, and it wouldn't come off, and then couldn't find a bottle opener. So she asked if anybody had one, and sure enough, yours truly had one on her keys. So I was the hero of the bar. Remember that. Always be prepared, I guess. But with that, let's see. Like, I'm not. I know I already took off the lid, but like, also, this doesn't look really appealing at all. It kind of just looks like cloudy, but I do see some bubbles in it. So let's smell. Oh, well, it smells a little graham crackery and a little bit of like that kind of solid cream cheese. The sweet cream cheese smell. Yeah, and a little vanilla too. So I mean, at least the smell is interesting. And with that, bottoms up. That's pretty decent. Um, it's still got that kind of like overbearing sweetness, right, that we get a lot with the Rocket Fizz sodas and the Lester's Fixings and all those, where because they're using real cane sugar, it's just a smidge too much. However, with the cheesecake, it kind of works. You do get a little bit of that graham cracker, and I would almost, again, I know I kind of talked about this with the smell, but it really does feel like more of a vanilla soda with some graham cracker elements than a cheesecake soda. But that being said, I don't necessarily think that's bad. Uh, I wouldn't drink it on the regular for a variety of reasons. But if I was hosting a Golden Girls themed party, I might get a few of these just to have around. This is like decent. I wonder what it would be like if you mixed a little chocolate syrup around it, or like kind of drizzled it like a mudslide and poured some in there, just to add a little more a different sort of flavor palette, something to play with. But I would drink that again, just not on the daily. And I don't think I'd feed it to our fearsome foursome, except for maybe Rose, because Rose would probably tolerate it. Next week, we are going to have a special guest. My dad, Papa Weird, Dad Weird, Weird Dad. I don't know. We've never really given him an official name, and maybe we should try to brainstorm that. But he's coming to town, and he's going to help me do some things around the house. And to celebrate, I got the new Mountain Dew Baja Blast, because we can't do Baja Blast without getting a family member involved. Because if I have to suffer, so do they. Anyway, so next week we're going to try both the regular and the zero sugar because I found both. So I'm really excited about this as well. Until next time, drink weird, and when you retire, try to find three other ladies to live with because you probably won't be able to afford a house otherwise. And also don't move to Florida because by that point the state will be in the sea. See you next time.